One of the things that I love about being in outer space is just how quiet it is. Yes, the views are phenomenal, and I'll tell you about them soon. But for now, let's just relax and focus on the quiet. Up in space, there's nothing to hear. I like the quiet. It has a calming power over me. I was quiet as a child. Well, I didn't speak a lot. I was quiet on the outside, but inside, my mind was full of chatter. I liked people. I still do. I like listening to some of them, depending on the company around me, of course. Many, though, whom I've heard speaking, most of them, actually, used too many words that were rarely worth listening to. I myself would much rather listen than speak. One of my favourite song lyrics from David Byrne of Talking Heads is, "You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything." When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? As much as I like the quiet, I have always loved hearing certain sounds. Interesting tones, notes, vibrations, repetitions and chords. Nature, music, chords, harmonics. And if I ever hear naturally occurring first and third notes of a chord sounding out, I always stop and listen for as long as I can. At the fifth, I'm hooked. I'm not going anywhere until that chord stops ringing. I love listening for rhythms in nature. Sometimes the tones arrive rapidly, like a woodpecker on a tree trunk, the woody resonance arriving in staccato. Often, the rhythm is slow, only noticeable if one is really listening. Think about the buzz of a bumblebee, harmlessly hovering over a blooming flower. There's a subtle rhythm to its hum. Tones and beeps. The beeps. The beeps were developed many decades ago as for early spaceflight radio communication. Now, they are a beacon from home. They are an audible candle in the window, letting me know that even though I am far from home, I am not alone. But sometimes, oftentimes, I craved the quiet. When I was younger, I would dream about floating in space. On nice, cool, clear nights, I would frequently put my jacket or a blanket down on the dewy grass, lie on my back and just look up at the heavens. I would lower my eyelids to mask out the terrestrial objects around me. That way, I could more easily visualize being out there, among the celestial bodies. Can you do that? Visualize being surrounded by stars. As if your mattress and duvet and pillow and the ceiling all over you are made of them. I could, and it filled me with bliss. Then, just as I was feeling the moment, a dog would bark. A car would accelerate in the distance, or the song of the crickets would seep too deep into my ears. Back then, I would try to blot out the unwanted sounds, filter them in my mind, but I never could. I did like the crickets, though. Have you ever noticed how their volume rises and falls much like the swell of the waves? Waves of sound. Waves. Warm, gentle waves. One summer, I was on a family holiday to a small seaside town. I was just barely old enough to venture out and walk by myself at night. The first chance I got, I walked along the beach, watching the moon set over the horizon. I laid myself down, not caring about the sand on my skin and clothes. I looked upwards. The sound of the ocean's waves gently blotted out all other ambient noises. Can you hear the waves? Can you see it? The setting moon, the silvery waves, and ripples glistening like the stars. I liked it. I liked it a lot. That peaceful starlight, slow dancing atop open water, floating in water, floating. As I grew older and my imagination wandered, I wanted to know the weightlessness of space. Floating underwater. That's when I took up scuba diving. Oh, I love the water and being under it. One of my favourite lifetime memories was a day of diving in warm waters. Tall, billowy kelp beds surrounded me. I was gliding amongst an underwater forest. Gliding. Floating. The giant kelp would sway in the currents and I would slowly move among them. No longer would I hear dogs barking, distant automobiles or airplane engines. But on this marvellous day, I heard the distant calls of whale songs. At first, it sounded lonely. Will you join me? The whales seemed to ask. Now I ask you, will you join me? Hold my hand and float with me in the kelp beds. Can you see it? Then I heard another whale's call, and another. Let your body feel the warm water. Let your ears hear the bubbles, the whales. We are buoyant. We are free. The whales, they communicate over vast distances. As I have the beeps, the whales have their song. They are apart, but never alone. beeps are a beacon from home. Then, my opportunity to explore space came about. Selected for this mission because of my ability to thrive in the quiet.
9.
My thoughts to keep me company. My desire for quiet is an asset.
8.
My day arrived. I carried with me several comforts from home.
7. 6.
I learned to love them. But I also learned that I would have been fine without them.
5. 4.
I have my thoughts. I can communicate over vast distances.
3. 2. 1.
All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes.
The launch is the loudest part. Powerfully, the rocket shook. The vibrations are strong. The ticket hisses and pops. The outside world has pressures, but inside, I don't feel them. I feel safe inside. I believe in science. I believe in myself. Swaying in the capsule, I feel myself pulling away from Earth. I take deep, relaxing breaths. All the chatter falling behind me. All the noise. The day's stress. Leaving Earth's atmosphere. All behind me now. The engines cut. Drifting. Soaring. Floating now, let's circle the earth and look at how beautiful it can be. The thin line of blue atmosphere. The clouds. I love lightning storms on Earth. Looking down on them, I see them flashing through the clouds. I do not hear the thunder. I see expanses of greens, grasses and trees. The dewy grass that I once laid upon many miles below us now. I see the way the sunlight hits the earth. The line of shadows where day becomes night. The beeps are a beacon from home. Nighttime. Sweet, sweet nighttime. Peaceful. Tranquil. Quiet. Then, as we orbit above, we see the deep blues of the seas, the oceans, and the bays and gulfs. In my cozy craft, I look down and look for whales swimming in pods, spouts of water billowing above them. And there are the polar ice caps, the mountains, the deserts and city lights at night. We circle and circle. Then, when we are ready, we see the moonbeams and float towards the light. The moonlight. Paul Verlaine's poem, Clair de Lune. With the calm moonlight, sad and lovely, which makes the birds dream in the trees, and the plumes of the fountains weep in ecstasy. Letters and words. Rhythm. From that comes Claude Debussy's musical piece of the same name. Clair de Lune in D-flat major. Notes and chords. Melodic poetry. Nature. Harmonics. Moonlight. The moon. Luna. Clair de Lune. The brightest of jewels that sits on a black velvet sky. That lovely object that has enchanted lovers, poets, composers, and dreamers. Sometimes it's a sliver, a crescent smiling down on us. Sometimes it's full and bright. Sometimes it hides. The beeps are a beacon from home. You are safe. Now, as the moon is drawing near, I remember back, marvelling at it from so far away. Standing outside on an overturned apple crate, my grandfather's hand on my shoulder as I leaned forward and looked through his telescope at the moon. I can hear his voice, pointing out the moon's features. Let's circle the moon, you and me, and I'll point them out to you the way he pointed them to me. Mare Serenitatis, the sea of serenity. Mare Tranquillitatis, the sea of tranquility. Mare Nectaris, the sea of nectar. Sinus Iridum, the bay of rainbows. Lacus Bonitatis, the lake of goodness. Goodness, rainbows, serenity, tranquility. Safety, security. The distance between objects is vast. Our next stop is very far away and we won't reach it today. Safety and security come from preparation. It's time to step outside of the capsule and have a look, to make sure the craft is safe for my deep sleep, safe for deep space. Besides, I love a good walk before I sleep. Tonight, let's make it a spacewalk. Slipping into my spacesuit, I stand before the open door. I double-check my tether and connections. I am safe. You are safe. The door opens and the world, full of blue seas, green forests, tan deserts and billowy white clouds, is arched out below us. Puffy clouds, deep blue sea. Remembering back, as if scuba diving among the kelp in the warm waters, I step off our ship and float. I see that it's free of damage. It's safe. I am safe. You are safe. The day's work fully behind me now, I take a moment to marvel at the stars. In the near vacuum of space, it is quiet. In space, it is clear. Light travels freely. The starlight is again a blanket that wraps around me. Peering through the window back into my craft, I see my cozy little world for the night. I see comforts from home. I see my houseplant growing, a warm golden light shining on it. I see a shoebox of Legos and the endless shapes I can make with them. On this long voyage, I can create and recreate. I can dream and float. I am safe. You are safe. I see my bed, my blanket and pillows. Bed. Bed. I find myself growing sleepy. Sleepy. I gracefully float back into my vessel, ready for sleep. I point the ship to points far away, to places of slumber and dreams, places like Mars and Saturn and beyond. Dreams of what comes next. In the virtual vacuum of space, there is no sound. And now that we have prepared our vessel, we have taken care of the day, we have charted our course, let's prepare ourselves for sleep. For sleep. For sleep. This is a time when I like to express gratitude. Gratitude. I am grateful for the crickets. I am grateful for dewy grass. I am grateful for nebulas and spiral galaxies. I am grateful for telescopes and woodpeckers. I am grateful for science, bumblebees and music. I am grateful for quiet thoughts and beds of kelp. Grateful for poets and pine trees. Grateful for the moon and the whales. I am grateful for the quiet of the night. I am grateful for my bed. Grateful for my pillows and blankets. Floating. I am grateful for you. Listening from far away. Listening as my ship propels itself away for the night. Moving forward in peace. Exploring the stars. Let's listen together to the steady hum of the engines. Let's listen to the communication beeps. The beeps are a beacon from home. Let the quiet noise take us away. Floating. Let's venture towards sleep. Floating towards sleep. Floating.